Born ready.
Good, because it's episode 97. I think I got it where you said born ready. We'll see. We'll see in
Excellent.
edit if I did a smooth move or not. Alex, how the hell you doing
Yes.
today?
Oh, so good, man. So good.
Mhm.
No, weather is beautiful. It's been warm. Drinking my coffee.
Did you
Just
sleep?
had my breakfast sandwich.
Did you sleep through all those storms last night? Oh
Yeah,
man.
I'm a pretty tight sleeper.
Okay. I
Things don't wake me up.
they would wake me up for a little bit, then they lulled me back to sleep. It's like thunder and lightning and rain and sleep, and they like it did that 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I would hate to be a light sleeper. That sounds like some kind of inferior gene that I'm just don't want to be part of my body.
I'm I'm more of a light sleeper, but I fall asleep very quickly, so it doesn't really affect too much.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
So I'll take it. Oh, hey, you know what,
All right.
Alex? While we're here
Yes.
talking about the
Yes.
weather, um,
Yes.
we should also talk about our grass. How's your lawn
I
doing?
was just going to ask you about grass.
Yeah,
I'm so glad you brought it up. It is doing so well.
good.
This week, I didn't just cut the grass, I also raked all the grass chippings and threw them away.
Ooh, you
So now, when you sit down, you cannot grab grass chippings.
gotcha. I never do that. I'm currently in the process, as you know, of removing as much of my grass as possible to make flowers and gardens and stuff.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
But I did cut my grass recently. It looks nice. I'm glad I got it in before the rain. I am excited because as we're recording this, I have my garden. Everyone out there, I might know I have a 10 by 20 garden where I grow
Hmm.
vegetables. Um, Over the winter, I planted, thanks to a good friend Brandon, because he got a bunch, winter wheat, which is just a ground cover crop. I have no use for wheat, but it also gave me an excuse to buy a Japanese hand sickle so I can go out and harvest it. It's supposed to arrive today. So if
That's awesome.
the rain stays away, I'm gonna be out there with a sickle just getting sheaths of wheat. I can't wait. Can't wait. But yeah, yard's looking good.
That's fantastic, man. I'm glad we have this segment. This is my favorite conversation of the week right here.
I mean, listen, grass clippings, it's all good. It's all good. We'll catch up with Neil's yard here later on, everybody. Don't you
Good,
worry.
good, good,
We're
good.
getting everybody in on the yard talk. Um, how's the fitness going? You seem like you were back on track after your little injury.
Well, 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 you'd seem that
Eh,
way, right?
yeah.
Not yesterday, last week I had a fantastic, probably one of the most consistent weeks of fitness I've had maybe since Arnold,
Hmm.
because we were so consistent with it at Arnold and the week leading up to it. And this week has been all right. I have been very active as far as activity in general.
Yeah.
I've walked a lot. I walked consistently over 10,000 steps most days, I should say, without even trying, just by being active. Some people may be like 10,000 steps is nothing. It's a lot for somebody with a sedentary job.
Yeah.
and and then I did work out. My first time working out this week was yesterday, and I'm planning to work out today as well. But yeah, I would say this week, relatively speaking, is a slower week, but still staying active every day.
Nice. Yeah. For me, I had one workout this week. Yesterday, um, I did some light cardio. I didn't do a full workout. I do have one planned for Friday with you, I believe. We're gonna play
Hmm.
Warhammer and lift. And then I'm gonna do another one Saturday because we're going into Memorial Day weekend. So I
That's
want,
right.
yeah. So I want to get probably a brutal leg day Saturday morning. I think is my plan, just to really really settle it in.
Just
And then
really punish yourself.
yeah, and then you know I've had the urge, not fully to do Murph on Monday, 'cause the old CrossFitness, but to do like a maybe like a scaled Murph, like do the run, do some do what I can type thing, but like
Yeah,
put in like a little maybe even a mini Murph or something just to kind of get that going. So
like half a Murph.
well, I wouldn't slim out the running. I do the mile run. Um, the push ups I will do. The squats I'll do. The pull-ups are, that's my weakness. And I don't really have a pull-up bar at home.
Hmm.
I would have like the edge of my deck, which would suck for that many pull-ups. So that might just be some like bent over
Rip your
rows.
hands.
Yeah, bent over
Yeah.
rows, or maybe I'll just play with like the hammer or something you got me.
Yeah.
So that might be Monday. We'll see. We'll see. I
Good
could,
idea. Yeah.
I could also wake up and be like, I'm good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we've done it a couple times now. We've done okay. It's like you almost have to train for it unless you do CrossFit regularly.
You have to be doing CrossFit. Like you can't really
Right.
prep for Murph. It's just a lot of suck. But you have to be
Right.
doing that type of stuff. So
Those type of movements,
yeah,
yes,
at the
absolutely.
very least, I will go get a mile run in. That's at least I'll get that
That's a good
done.
idea. I like that. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. So today's
So,
topic. It's a,
today's topic.
it's very. It might be a. I'll just say it. This will be the title of the episode. How not to be a dick in the gym. Right? No, no.
A
It's
lot of people need this. A
yeah.
lot of people need this,
No, this it's
at least
more
on social media.
yeah, sure. It's just a gym etiquette video. It's not how to not be a dick. Like most people know how to not be dicks. It's great.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Some people just unaware. So yeah, we're just gonna cover some basics of gym etiquette, how to be respectable, specifically in the gym space.
Yeah, and stuff like I didn't know, you probably didn't know whenever you're into the gym. Just stuff that make you feel more comfortable when you're there, so you can just kind of follow the traditional flow of a gym. And this is more of a free weights gym. If you're in like a commercial gym that doesn't have any free weights, the etiquette is really just don't sit on a machine forever and wipe your machine when you're done.
Correct.
But
Correct. I think we can actually start with that. That could be
okay,
number one.
yeah.
Is depending on the gym, right? Understand your gym culture,
Hmm.
right? If your gym is full of grandmas and old ladies who are just there to chat and go on a cardio and treadmill, probably switch a gym unless you're an old lady. Or if you do go to that gym, just be respectful of that. Don't slam weights, don't grunt, right? If you're part of that gym. However, if you're part of a typical gym where it's appropriate to grunt and appropriate drop weights, and that's the culture there, then it's fine. But just understand the culture of your gym and don't behave the same at different gyms, let's say.
Yeah, yeah. Like if you went to like that classic hardcore powerlifting gym that I would just love it, like the pros gym. Like you're there to
Absolutely.
work and it's gonna be heavy and you're gonna be moving and
Absolutely.
grooving and everyone appreciates it. But if you took that same culture over to Planet Fitness,
Right.
wouldn't go well.
Just
Would not go well.
be respectful of the gym you're going to, because Planet Fitness can be a fantastic tool for people who are
Right.
financially just can't afford a nicer gym, which is fine. And their weights are still the same. Their machines are okay, right? So you can still get good results in it, but maybe because you're signing up for the gym, maybe don't grunt and drop the weights because it's the culture of that gym
Right.
specifically,
Right.
right?
And you're paying to be a member of that gym. So
Right.
yeah, yeah, that's great. Understanding the culture of the gym is a big one. I would say like and then I'll take the second point that I have here, which is really just, you need to rest between your sets. But you don't want to just take up a machine to take up a machine or like a bench. Like if you're using a bench and like it's like okay, well I'm resting for 2 minutes between this set for my recovery,
Hmm.
3 minutes, whatever it is. I mean, to be honest, like even like a 5 minute recovery, is someone who
Some
likes
people
strength, yeah, that's
lifting
fine.
very heavy. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so like okay, oh you got 3 sets there and you got 5 minute break in between. Okay, so about I'll go do something else. That no, not a problem. Um, but just don't just like I don't get into a hole on your phone just scrolling and scrolling, and all of a sudden you've been sitting there for 8 minutes between your sets.
Absolutely.
You're there for a reason. Everyone wants to get 45 minutes to an hour. Don't make it take longer than needed, because you're scrolling on your phone. Um, so
Absolutely.
that would be my point. Just be cognitive of your time and how much time you're taking up of a piece of equipment.
Absolutely. And if you have that social awareness skill, if you know that you do, if you don't, just do what Chuck said. If you do, you probably will notice that people will peek over and look at the equipment that you're using or walk around, and you can just ask them, because I do that. I was like, "Hey, are you waiting for this?" And they might say no, and they might say yes, and they say yes, just like, "Hey, I have two more sets, probably another 6 to 8 minutes, and then I can grab you and you can have it, right?" Uh, or you can just come in here at that time, and I'll be leaving. So whatever it is, because gyms do get busy at
Mm-hmm.
certain times, right? Depending if you go off right after work, and sharing equipment is a real thing.
Yep.
If you can, it's harder on some things, but if you can, I recommend allowing people to work in with you
Yep.
or asking if you can work in. If they tell you no, don't get upset. Totally understandable. Working in just means you do your set, and like Chuck said, if you do need to take 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes in between, and as long as it's easy for them to adjust and then change the weight to what you were using, somebody can work in. The one thing to understand when you're working in, and this is the person who's working in with you or with the other person, the person who's working in, it's their responsibility to put the weight back to what it was originally,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So example of this is if I'm doing cable chest flies and I'm using 40 pounds and somebody asks me, hey, can I work in? It's really busy. I need to do it. Is it okay with you? I will say, yes, of course. And they can change it to 20 pounds, 30 pounds, 50 pounds, but it's their responsibility to change it back to my weight,
Right.
right? That would be a dick move if you work in and don't change your weight and make the other person change the weight for you.
Right. Yeah. 100%. And it's a very good thing because school's about to let out. So for summer here, so there's gonna be a lot more younger kids coming to the gym. And here's
Hmm.
the thing too: a lot of them maybe don't have all this awareness, and like it's fine. They're kids. Like they'll learn it, educate them. Feel free to like politely. um,
Correct.
but you know you're gonna have to get used to working around people in the gym if you're not used to it, and you've been working out for the past couple months.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, trying to think. Oh shoot, I had it. I had it. I lost it. Alex, I had it and I lost it.
I have another one.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
It might be the same one. Filming in the gym.
No, different. But go ahead. That's a good one.
Okay. So filming in the gym. Here is where, first of all, understand the culture of your gym, right? There are influencer gyms, right? There are gyms that just like you see people with tripods and recording everywhere. This is the culture of the gym. Expect to be filmed. If you don't like to be filmed, don't go to a different gym, right? Some gyms are like that. Not most. Most gyms are just regular for the public gyms. So if you film and if somebody's in the background, you ask them, hey, do you care if I film my set? Right? And ideally tell them why. It's for my Instagram page, it's for me to look at form, nobody's going to see it, right? What is this for? And if they tell you no, you don't film. What you don't do is you film yourself with somebody in the background without them being aware of it,
Especially in the locker room.
especially in the locker room. But
Mm.
people would prefer that. Like sometimes I'll be at the gym and it looks empty and I'll just flex and look at my form, but somebody will walk in and I'll be like, "Oh man, I'm sorry. Is it okay if I film myself?" And they'll be like, "Oh yeah, yeah, it's fine." Or like, "Oh no, I actually prefer if you didn't." That's it. That's all you got to do. Don't be weird about it. Don't be awkward about it. It's okay to film yourself, to look at progress, you're in good shape, whatever. To look at form, it's very good to film yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
However,
Form
just be
videos are
aware,
very good because like you might feel like you're doing it right. I've done it so many times. It's like, oh man, I'm doing great, and
so
I
many
look at my
times.
form. I'm like, oh my god, what the hell's going
Garbage,
on?
right? Absolutely. So it's a really good tool to use. I love it personally, obviously. However, just be aware that uh, of people in the background and communicating with them.
Right. And then actually, I'll piggyback off that. Filming the correct content in the gym. Um, so if you're there and
Yeah.
you need to film yourself for any reason, whether it's an influence style gym or just for form or just because you want to see progress pics of yourself, um, that stuff is perfectly fine. You lifting weights is perfectly fine. If you want to film thirst trap stuff in the gym, okay, well, I don't know any gyms that are about thirst traps. So maybe do those
Yes.
at your home gym uh, more than anything else because yeah, it's
It's a public
it
space.
yeah,
Be aware of people. Most people don't want to see that.
right.
There's people who are married, there's people who are just don't want to look at that stuff, right? So it's fine to do it, and it's fine to do it for whatever reason, if you need to do it,
Hmm.
but recognize it's awareness of other people and being respectful of them.
Also public indecent in some videos that pop up on the
In
Instagram feed
some,
on occasion is like, whoa, why is this on Instagram?
and why is this at the gym, a public gym, right? So
Yes,
yeah, yeah, just
100%.
be respectful. Respectful. You're not the only person. The universe does not revolve around you, right? Um, so recognizing that it's important to love others as well, and one thing you do to love others is be respectful of their space and of what they're exposed to.
Right, and also to about the respectful part, it kind of plays back into the fact that summer coming out, you're going to have a lot of young high school kids coming to the gyms most likely. You know, and when I was younger and newer to the gym, I was at a certain point where I was annoyed by it. Now I'm at the point where I'm excited to see it because I see young people improving their health and it's
Absolutely.
great. That doesn't mean they're not in my way, but it doesn't mean I'm gonna be disrespectful about it. So, Alex,
Absolutely.
how do you handle that situation? You're there. There's a group of like five five guys, you know, like young kids. They're working. It's maybe like the first summer they're working out. They don't really know what's going on, but they're just kind of taking up space. And you know, you need that machine because it's the last thing you have to do. So, what do you do in that
Yeah.
situation?
If they look like they're using it, I just move on to something else, right? I do a different movement. Let's say chest flies is something we talked about. If I do cable chest flies and they look like they're using it, there's five of them. The reality is, if there's five people using the same machine, it is going to take longer.
Yeah,
Now, a 5 6 minute set takes 30 40 minutes, right? That makes sense. So the reality is, if that's what they do, they go as a gang to use that machine. That's fine. I just do something else. If they're messing around and I don't see them do a set for 5 minutes, any of them, right? Because the reality is, when you have 5 minutes, you can chop, 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 get it done
yeah,
while other people are resting. If I see that, I'll just come over and ask, "Hey, are you using this machine?" Right? I haven't seen anybody use it for 5 minutes. Are you guys using it? And a lot of times they'll say no, or maybe they're only using one of the cables, right? Or maybe they are. I am relatively non-confrontational. If I see that it's obvious misuse of gym etiquette, I'll just approach them and ask if I can use it and let me work in. If not, I'll just use a different machine.
right. I think you hit on 2 points there. One, I mean, continue to be respectful. Like, yeah, just ask. Chances are they'll be like, oh yeah, sorry. They maybe don't realize how much time they're taking, and that's fine.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or they'll let you work in, which is fun. And then the other option is, you know, especially if you're like maybe you're more experienced in the gym right now, but you're not, but you're still new. So like this conversation is still useful for you. Yeah, like there's other movements you can do. Like, oh, I need to work my lower chest. Oh, they're on the decline bench. Okay, I can get on the flies and I can work my lower chest if I need to just get it done and don't want to do anything and get out.
Absolutely.
But
Yeah. Do high to low flies. Do incline dumbbell press.
yeah,
A lot of different options you could do.
right. But essentially, it's just ask, just be polite. I mean, the other thing is too,
Yeah.
you always have to remember. I think everybody always says this. No one's looking at you in the gym or thinking about you in the gym. They're looking and thinking of themselves. That's
Absolutely.
that's me. That's you, Alex. That like, unless you're there with somebody and you're working out with them. But like, if you're alone, like I'm there to, and I'm not looking at other people's like, oh man, his form's garbage. Here's it. I'm like, I could have done 10 more pounds. Yeah, I feel good today. Like it's all about
Exactly what you're thinking.
yeah. When you're in the gym, you're your own main character. That's all it is. Although
Yeah.
I will say
People.
I didn't judge, but I noticed I could out bench a lot of my local police force. And the only reason I mentioned that is because by law, then I don't have to accept any tickets. I own the police force now in my local town.
That is in the Constitution.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he gave me a
Yeah.
ticket. I just like ripped it up. I'm like, no, I'm stronger than you. And he's like, God damn it, you're right.
Yeah. Dang, you're right. Dang. How much do you bench? Oh, okay. Dang, dang. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
No, but yeah, it's the gym's for everybody, and if you're in the gym, you're there to get better, and that's what everybody's doing. It doesn't matter what you look like. Like I've been
absolutely.
in there, I've been in gyms where I'm literally working out on the left side of me is like someone who's 300 some pounds and he's just trying to get in shape, and then the other side of me is like some bodybuilder guy, and like there's me in the middle, Mr. Mid. Um,
Yep.
but like it's yeah, the gym's for
And they're
everybody.
both
Just be
there with the
polite.
same mentality. Like you
Yeah.
said, they're both there to get better and recognize that nobody, you are thinking the most about you.
Yes.
Nobody is thinking about you as much as you are. Right? So when you look at your form, or like, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm using the machine right, you're the one who's thinking the most about you. Nobody else is thinking that.
Yeah.
Right? And the worst thing is, or the best thing is, most gyms just find a person who looks like they know what they're doing, who doesn't seem to be headphones super focused, super angry, and just ask them like, "Hey, I'm new. You seem like you know what you're doing. Do you mind showing me how to use it?" And typically, you will see a guy like that walking around, a guy who talks to everybody
Yeah.
and just helps them out and helps with form. And if you are respectful and you just tell them, "Hey, I'm new. I've never done this movement. Can you just show me one set?" They'll most likely show you one set.
Yeah, and like you can even ask for spots. That's the other thing too. Don't ever be afraid. I see so many videos where people are just like trapped under the bar in a bench press. It's like doesn't like if you're it doesn't matter how strong you are, whatever level you are. If you're going to be lifting something you know is heavy for you, and you're worried that you might fail it, just ask for a spot, and it can be anybody. I mean, obviously, ask for somebody that can probably pick up the bar. Like if you're about to bench 315, maybe the grandma doing some little cardio on a treadmill over there. Maybe don't ask her to spot you, but
Yeah, yeah.
because you're
That'd be
just
funny. Very funny.
yeah, that's
But don't ask.
yeah, yeah. As somebody who is lifting heavy weights and do all that. So and also too, the other thing is if you want to like meet people in the gym to find people to work out with, it's as simple as asking for spots. Alex, how many people do you and I know in our gyms? I don't know their names, but I know who they are. They know who I am because we're just always there at the same time.
Absolutely,
And and
absolutely.
it's
And
yeah, it's like I mean that's why everyone's big dog. It's like hey King, hey big dog.
oh my goodness, big man,
Yep.
right? I love people calling me that. Just like I'm not, but thank you. The spot thing is what you said. I didn't even think about it. That's so beautiful. When the friendships I build at the gym are with people who I've asked to spot me, or people who've asked me to spot them. Which, by the way, when somebody asks you to spot them, that feels dang good
Yeah.
because they're implying that you're strong enough to help them if they fail.
Right.
Which, by the way, some of the guys who asked to spot me were lifting like 365, and I'm like, I don't know, bro. I think I can hold it, and you can crawl out of there, but I don't know if I can lift it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it's fun. Um, and thankfully, a lot of machines like the squat racks have safety bars,
Right,
so like
right,
that's
right,
a little easier. Deadlift is you just can't pick it up. Bench is the biggest one where you'll need
right,
spots just to be safe. Unless you're in one of those
right.
have one of those amazing benches that have the spotters on the side and you have the
Oh
little.
my
Oh my
goodness,
god, I want an $800 bench
so
so
good,
bad, Alex.
so good.
I don't need one.
Hey, I have one more thing that we did not cover.
Oh, what's that? Okay,
I think we talked about it, but we did not elaborate on that. So we established that you should not hog equipment,
right.
right? Ideally, be respectful of the time of day and how busy it is at the gym. If you're doing a superset or a mega set,
Yeah.
find a time when the gym is not super busy, right? Try not to claim equipment because if you're doing, let's say, a superset, mega set, 3 and 4 movements, and you require 3, 4 pairs of dumbbells, or you require this machine, 2 dumbbells, a barbell, like, and you have limited equipment at your gym and it's busy, maybe save that for a different time of workout,
Yeah.
right? Or switch your programming. But try. I see some guys at the gym who like hog 8 dumbbells for half an hour, and some gyms only have one or maybe two of the same dumbbells, right?
Right.
So when you hog it for half an hour, nobody else can use it for that time, which is fine and appropriate with one, maybe 2 dumbbells. But when you go like 1 pair, 2 pairs of dumbbells, but when you do 6, 7, 8, just be wise, right?
Yeah.
If it looks like people are looking for the dumbbells you're using and you're using them forever, maybe put them back on.
Right. And also that implies too using equipment in the manner that it's supposed to be used. Like I see so many like, oh, you want to do that neat trick thing for Instagram. I'm like, buddy, put back the 8 dumbbells you're trying to take the ab wheel and balance on. Like no one gives a fuck.
What are you
It's not
doing?
doing anything
Yeah, what
for
are you
you.
doing? Yeah.
Also, if you're in a squat rack, you better be squatting or doing rows or overhead pressing. To me, like there's
Or if you can curl 135 for reps consistently,
okay, yeah,
okay.
I'd let you alone. Yeah, if you're curling
Yeah,
135,
yeah,
I'd be like, okay,
yeah.
you almost
Okay.
done.
All
Okay,
right. All right.
you're
Not for 1 rep, for reps and for sets, like 6 plus. At that point, I'm probably too scared to approach you anyway.
exactly you're a monster. Also, how do you do that? Teach me.
Yeah, teach me your
Um,
ways.
but essentially, and I think it's like there's one person he's consistently there. He's very quick on his workout, so it's not much of a bother. But he has like a lot of the hanging stuff, like stretching and straps, and like he does a lot of core. And he's always doing it in the one squat rack in the free weight room, even though there's a big, huge rogue mega rack outside the other area
Yes,
that has that equipment on it already, and it's just like
that almost nobody ever uses. That's almost always free. Yeah,
right. And it's just like I don't know why you want to be in this room. And it's just
yeah.
like
And there's really only one good squat rack. Unfortunately, in our gym, there's only one good squat rack. So it's a precious commodity,
yes,
right? That when you use it, you better be doing squats or overhead press if you have to do it there, or something.
right.
Limited range of motion deadlifts. People do
Yeah.
that with the safety bars. That's fine, but
And that here's
do
the thing:
something heavy.
if you're in the squat rack and you're squatting the bar because that's all you can
I
squat,
don't care.
I don't care.
Yeah,
You're using it
yeah, no,
for
no,
what it's intended, and it's not. But like I said, that
exactly.
yeah. That guy took a lot longer, it'd be a lot more annoying, but he's usually pretty quick on it. So I was like, okay,
Right.
whatever.
Just be wise. Just use common sense.
Perfect, perfect. Well, Alex, I have to ask, even though I know the answer, as we wrap up the segment here. Have you had any time for any hobby this past week?
Just tear flowing, a single tear
I mean, did you
drops.
buy something? Did you listen to any cool content?
I no, honestly, this week has been crazy. I did not tell you, but my air conditioner went out, so I've been having to try to
Oh, this
fix
is the
that,
bad
and
week for that.
bad week for that. It's been very hot in the house, and some things going on in life that are just busy. So not honestly, not this week.
Hmm.
I did, I did mention that I have that Heroes of Might and Magic 3
Yes.
game, so I'm working on that. The one good news is, I guess I didn't buy it now, but I'm going to receive it soon. Is have you ever heard of a game called Full Tilt?
Oh my gosh, yes. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I've
Have
been
you
wanting to.
heard?
I want to make like a little board for the club at the barn because I mean, yeah, like freaking Bretonians now. So
Well, you might not have to do that because there's an even better game called Half Tilt.
is that the halfling one?
It's the halfling one.
I love it.
And I'm going to receive it here soon. I got a notification. So basically, it's a jousting, night jousting game where you play as a knight, a halfling knight on a pony, and there's like 8 or 10 characters, and they have the mini arena and everything. So I'm
I
excited. It looks like a very simple game, so I'm
Yeah,
excited to play it.
yeah. Full Tilt wasn't a hard game, so I imagine this is probably a more modern, more fun version of that. I hope the Black Knight in this game is like a goblin riding a pig or something weird.
That would be awesome. No, but it looks really fun and it looks simple. Like all the cards are like this big for each character, so it's not very complicated.
Nice, nice. I look forward to
Yeah.
it. But
Yes.
yeah. All right. Well, I will see everybody on the other side of the break here with Neil as we continue this episode. So with Alex, thank you. Be sure to
You're welcome.
hit him up in the DMs below. Slide into his DMs. If you say the words "Chuck is handsome," he'll
I will block you.
he'll block you. Yeah, it's over. You don't get fitness advice.
No, you're done. You never see my content ever again.
All right, cool.
uh,
Thanks, Alex. We'll see you again here soon.
See you guys.
Older.
How old are you anyway?
43.
Okay, perfect. Now everybody who's watching Strength Hammer episode 97 knows you're 43.
Perfect.
Listen, we can't figure out a topic. I might as well hit record and our banter becomes the topic, right?
Correct.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 97 of the Strength Hammer podcast, where we have no idea what we want to talk about tonight because they haven't released anything new for Old Worlds. We're waiting for 4th edition, and Neil and I aren't excited for army articles until they release an army article about an army we care about.
Yeah, I need to actually sit down. I can't just sit and like have rules talked at me. I don't have I have too much ADHD for that. I can't do it. So yeah, I have to actually sit down with a book and read through rules. So until that happens with AOS 4,
I while we're on it a little bit early, like I don't like I see the rules for AOS 4 and like cool, they're releasing an article every day of the new faction rules. I don't know how much I care to like dive into it. Like I thought I was like, oh, I'll do videos on each of them. But I'm like, I really don't care. Like I'm not. I don't mean that in a bad way. I don't mean that as in like I don't care about Age of Sigmar. I mean it as in they are what they are. I'll just wait for the ones I care about to come out. Like I'm like, oh, what's the Stormcast do? And like I'm not trying to piece together all this information to figure it out.
Yeah.
I just
God bless you if you are. But
yeah. There's plenty of channels out there are.
Not me.
Me neither.
No
I
way.
mean, we'll talk about the ones like when Corn comes up. I'm sure Neil will want to talk about it. When Daughter's King comes up, I'll want to talk about it. That might take over entire episodes. We will see. But for tonight, Neil, most important question to start off the entire show, as I've discovered, how's your lawn doing?
Not well.
Not well.
I won't get into the details, but not well.
Okay, all right.
It's high, very high.
Okay, all right. Well, Alex's lawn is doing the best. He's actually raking his clippings. Mine is cut, and I'm about to start my garden, and Neil's exists.
Rake your clippings. What's he got, a golf course over there? Come on.
I look at the people who mow their grass twice to get rid of their clippings as insane, let alone raking it. Like, I mean, if you have a bag and it picks it all up, sure, that's fine.
It's a lot of bags. A lot of bags.
Now, I'll put effort into the garden, not the grass. Removing grass is my goal in 2024. Less grass, more garden.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Okay. Well, now that that's out of the way, Neil, we do have some hobby to talk about.
Yeah.
Now,
What you got?
well, Alex kind of let us down. He didn't have any hobby other than
Oh, boo.
basic stuff. Yeah, it wasn't much. It wasn't much. But we you and I have a few things here. So let me bring it up. So boom. Despite the fact I'm already kind of burned out on his army, I am making progress on my Napoleonics, my French. Blue coat's done. Actually, after the picture that you see on screen now, I painted all the red cuffs, and I started putting some flesh tone on. So I'm probably like 2 colors away from a final wash and a basing and calling the units done, which is the majority of the army. So, with the holiday weekend coming up, I'm not saying I'll get the army done, but I'll probably get real close.
There you go.
So I'm
Basing as well?
basing as well. Basing's just going to be standard flock.
Well, of course.
Don't care. Who cares? Fuck it.
Right.
This is, I don't care about details of the army. But still, fighting through it because I really just want to not do it. Okay, hold on. We're going to close this real quick. Nope, that's not it. Come back to us. So, Neil, I have to admit something here.
Shoot.
There is a new Street Fighter character out, Akuma. So my Street Fighter high is through the fucking roof.
Oh, man. I mean, I grew up with the original, 8?
Was it
Or
2?
8?
Did you do the World Tour? The 2? Was that your key?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Street Fighter 2.
That's fine.
And pretty much just that. And so that's really Street Fighter. Anything else is garbage.
Well, I mean, it's Akuma. Akuma's pretty cool. I mean, I'm a Kami main, so I know what you're talking about here.
Yeah. I will allow the new fighters. That was it Street Fighter 2, the new fighters or something like that had Cammy first time she showed up.
Yeah. She was not an original World Warrior. She was was follow up.
So I'll allow that because I did play a little bit of that as well.
She feels like a main character. It's weird. Anyway, but yeah, that's fine. So if it wasn't my love of you and talking Warhammer, I would not be recording a podcast right now. I'd be up there getting sets and grinding and doing labs. But I'm here right now. Also, I have fallen into a new hobby. I don't know how much I'll talk about it on this. I just talk about who I am on my social medias and stuff here. This probably won't be a deep thing here, but I really am getting into the idea of customizing and kit bashing, weirdly enough, customizing old Game Boys. Like retro modding, I don't know why I've fallen into this rabbit hole of watching these YouTube videos, and it looks so fun, and it's just like this hobby we're doing here, but with just some soldering and some cleaning, and you get it. It's weird. I'm on the edge of a precipice with it, staring into the void. The problem is I'm already staring into the void, so I'll eventually fall in. But for now, we're on the edge.
God bless you. Yeah.
It's a weird one. All right.
My dad's tried to teach me how to solder 3 different times now. I still can't do it, so it's all good.
I'm not saying I'm a good solderer, but I have done it for PC building and stuff like that, so doesn't scare me. But regardless, anyway, sorry. That's why hobby's a little lackluster, for me at least. And I'm fighting.
Have you got any games in or anything?
No, because actually the local club we actually make Seasons of War, so which is we vote everyone's. We don't have to have one, but we'll vote be like, hey, this Season of War is fantasy, so everyone by default will bring a fantasy game to the weekly game night, or it'll be sci-fi, so 40 like a sci-fi game, whether it's 40K, BattleTech, whatever. We are working on a hobby right now, so we've been painting stuff, which actually is the reason why this Napoleonics got anything done, because I have no interest to paint it right now. The only army I have interest to do anything with is my Bretonians for the Tale of Four Warlords.
Yeah.
And it's a very slow grind. But I'm trying to knock this out just to get it done. Outside of that, I might get a game of Old World or Sigmar in this week. But very casual, super chill. We'll see.
Yeah.
But
yeah. I almost went up to see Big M. I went last night or earlier today. I said, hey, you available tomorrow? I might shoot up there real quick. Just play a game with you. and leave the next morning. But it was not free this weekend. So
Yeah.
another weekend, and then I will let you know when that happens, and maybe you can make the hour trip over there as well.
My weekends are pretty free. I wouldn't mind coming up to hang out, watch you guys play, and
Yeah.
talk some smack alongside of you.
I get a little maybe a little Triumph and Treachery old world game going on.
There you go. But anyway, back to the hobby. All right, people here don't care about me wanting to mod classic Game Boys. If you do, comment below, and if you don't, like and subscribe. We will talk about games as we get there. But Neil, there's a lovely lion cherry to see on screen right now.
Mm-hmm.
That you,
it's not lovely.
I like it.
It needs a lot of touch ups. It is. I'm not proud of it at all currently, but it's done. It's tabletop ready, so it will have to be revisited for sure. So, yeah, just at some point like this, I primed this thing with Xandri dust, and then I kind of painted the chariot and the woods on the chariot and some of the golds and that kind of thing. And then, so it was kind of like half painted for a long time after I printed this thing. And then today I was just like, you know what, or actually last night, I'm like, you know what, I'm going to work on this thing, maybe knock it out real quick.
Yeah.
And I found that a lot of the paints that I had anticipated wanting to use were unfortunately pretty much dried up and useless at that point. So I was trying to make that work with a lot of paints that maybe I did not necessarily want to use. So it's just and it can stay for a little while. So good enough.
Yeah, no, I understand. That's what my Napoleonics is going to be. It's going to be it's done.
Yep.
And I'll be happy with that. But there's one more piece of hobby you have, Neil.
Do I?
You do. It's right now. It's a blurry image on the screen because I took such a blurry picture of it. You have an Eltharion the Grim.
Well, yes. Well, I don't have it in my possession yet.
No, but that's no excuse, sir. All right, it's even though it's at my house and I bought it for you as a gift. There's no reason why you haven't painted it.
After our last podcast, yeah, literally 5 minutes afterwards.
I mean, found a good deal. What can I say?
Yeah.
Need a little TLC, but I can't wait for you to get this back in your army.
In news of old models, and since last week we talked about those two like that model and the Orc Wyvern, which I missed out on.
Yep.
I in fact did not miss out on it, and the
I
reason
I heard about this.
Missed out on it was Big M, and I said, yeah. And he's just like, I bought it for you immediately. He's like, I didn't even wait for you to tell me. So, he's like, I knew what you were gonna do. So yeah. So
now you have so much reason to come to Pennsylvania, you can't even help it.
Yes, so that's part of it is me taking trips out there to see you guys. So
just gotta pick up the lead.
Oh,
actually, you know what? I don't know if I talked about this on the last episode. I did pick up a model to kit bash for my Tale of Four Warlords from my Bretonnian army because I don't know when the made-to-order Bretonnian stuff's gonna ship, and I need a damsel/prophetess on foot for my list. So it's gonna need some kit bashing. But picked up the Sonari Cathalar. Nice little dress, little veil, on a little rock. Feels like a perfect little conversion to make into a damsel prophetess.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah,
now will she be the same scale as what you're looking at? Sometimes those AOF models push the scale a little bit.
No, this is a tall muscle mommy damsel, and she's gonna fuck up all those peasants like they have no idea.
That's right. She's well fed, not like these peasants.
Exactly.
These 5'2" peasants. Yeah.
Yeah, she can deadlift at least twice her body weight, whereas they cannot.
I love it. Yeah. That's why everything's getting printed at 110% right now. Trying to get up to that 32 millimeter scale there.
There you go. That's 28 heroic, sir. That's what we call it around here.
Whatever. 28 heroic. Okay.
All right. And as everybody's been probably keeping an eye on news out there, there's been a lot of new stuff for Age of Sigmar 4.0 coming out. We just had the Dallas US Open. Congrats to, I think, Gavin Grigar won with Daughters of Cain, or at least he placed really well. I can't remember the top placing because they just showed 40K for most of it. But we did get to see a spearhead match between two AEW wrestlers.
I did watch a little bit of this, yeah.
Yeah, I loved the concept. The execution wasn't like the best. I'm not trying to throw shade here, but I just think like with the a little bit more preparation, that could have been so much more exciting. Like
Yeah,
the professional wrestlers carry that so well because they know how to do that.
yeah, yeah.
Um, I can't say I know how to fix it, but I'm saying I think a little bit more preparation needs to go in from the Games
Yeah.
Workshop side.
Helicopter in a tree scenario here.
Yeah,
So
yeah. It's
yeah,
but like, man, I
yeah.
loved it.
I had similar feelings on it too. Like that, they were talking about like kind of talking over the game quite a
Yeah,
bit and kind of narrating the game when I feel like I wanted to just hear what was going on at the board more than anything. Like I kind of want to
I
hear
mean,
those two talking it out, and
yeah,
I think there would have been a place for more over top, and like kind of coming back out and say, oh, okay, so this is what they're talking about, this is what they're doing right now, but kind of a little bit of bounce back and forth between that would have been maybe a little bit more than what they had. Would have been nice. Kind of kept my attention a little bit more, but
right, but this is the first time they've tried something like this, so kudos for
yeah,
risking it
mhm,
and trying it. I
mhm.
still enjoyed it, but yeah, like it needs a little bit more
It's
effort and
polishing.
polishing, and it'd be great.
Hmm.
Um, I did enjoy watching the fourth edition masterclass from the first and second place players from the AOS, with the U.S. Open World Championship last year.
Hmm.
Um, Skaven versus Lumineth. It was just nice to see like roles getting splashed up, seeing like a full game be played. Um,
Hmm.
they weren't really limiting them to like a time limit. They were just like play highest level you can type stuff. So that was kind of fun. Still,
Hmm.
I was sad as like I said once again sad I wasn't able to make it down there, but I was happy to watch the streams and enjoy. The Spearhead event looked to be going well. Neil, I'm sure you've seen lots of Spearhead content out there right now from all the influencers who are on the inn that can have played Spearhead. Have you seen some of those out there yet?
I've not. I've only watched the Spearhead game the Games Workshop did. That's
Yeah.
all I've got so far.
I
So
mean, AOS Coach has a great one out. Rob the Honest Wargamer has a nice one out because they also did it the same as during the U.S. Open. They had it in Warhammer World too.
mhm.
Also, Doug 2 Plus Tough and Warhammer Weekly's that latest episode was all about it. So, um,
Okay.
no, the thing is, we're just hearing how great it is. We're hearing some basic nuance stuff. We still need to get it in our hands. I have faith. It looks great to me. The biggest thing is everyone's loving the battle tactics in it. Well, because it's random cards and it's super fun.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
All
And
right.
they're not, yeah. Like so much so that people are like, man, how can we bring these over to main Age of Sigmar? Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, you know what my thoughts are on kind of smaller games like that. I like to see armies on the table.
Yeah,
So I'm looking forward to trying it and seeing, but
it's gonna be,
right now.
yeah, for me, I'm gonna treat it like I treat Underworlds and Warcry, where I have a separate case that just has the stuff in it for that. So if anyone ever is like, hey, Chuck, let's play Warcry, I grab it. I can walk over there right now, grab my whole army, and go.
Mhm. Yeah.
Rules and all. I want to do the same thing for Spearhead essentially. I don't know what army I'm going to do. I have extra Spearhead boxes for Slanesh right here for some unknown reason. So maybe one of those I'll paint it up separately. But I want to have a separate box with all the cards in it and be like, oh, and then the honestly, I get it big enough one I can put the train in it and put the board in it and just hey, oh, you want to play Spearhead? Great, I'll bring everything except for your army.
Mhm.
Like that's how I'm going to treat it. Because also it's a fun little side project. I mean, you're painting 20 models at most or something like that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm with you. I like big whole armies, which probably what we'll end up talking about tonight, like how much we like big fucking armies. But BFAs. There was a news. So like all that said, we're not covering any sort of Spearhead stuff here because neither one of us have tried it. We're not going to be covering any of the army specific articles tonight because, to be fair, Stormcasts are cool, Skaven are cool, Gits are cool, but I don't really care about those armies so much to feel like I can talk intelligently enough about it. Neil, do you feel like you can talk about any of those?
I mean, I looked at the
I
Stormcast stuff for a little bit. I mean,
I've
the
looked at them.
problem is
Yeah, yeah.
I have like the War Scrolls, but I don't have the ability to know how it's going to relate to the game
Right.
at all. So until I've actually sat down and played a game of this, it's kind of hard to just look at a war scroll and say, hey, that's going to be good, that's not going to be good. I don't have all the information yet because I haven't really paid enough attention yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, like I said, when I get it all in my hands, it'll be a different story. But I've got currently a full army of Stormcast over there, and I'm very, very curious because I do have the big dragon, and
Oh,
he
you
looked
do.
pretty good. Looked pretty good, Krondus. Yeah,
He looked like a
that war
dragon.
scroll,
I
that
have
war scroll looked tasty. Yeah,
I have Yandrasta, and I liked her spear. I wish she had a little more going on, but I didn't hate her.
everybody has Yndrasta. In fact, everybody has about 4 of her.
That's true. That's
I
true.
think you can find those in gutters all across America right now.
I have painted more of those than I'd care to admit. You know, I only have one on me because
Yeah.
Ruster's gone. But
It is hilarious. I mean, it's a beautiful model. I
It
love
is.
the model. It's just it
It's-
was in that starter set, so they're all over the place.
quick PSA: I know Games Workshop wants to do push to fit for the starter boxes, and that's fine. Never put a named character in those boxes, please. Yandrasta being pushed to fit is just there's too many of her.
Yeah.
And like, okay, well, could you have made her even cooler as a sculpt? If you didn't put her as pushed to fit, maybe. So that's
right.
I don't mind models being pushed to fit. I just mind characters being pushed to fit. Seems like a waste.
Yeah, 100%.
But despite that, we're not going to dive deep on all those articles. Other people will, and you can enjoy those. Here in the Strength Hammer podcast, there's one news article I do want to talk about. If I can get it up. And window, boom. This one right here. The Hour of Ruin is upon us, Neil. And this is what it means for the Mortal Realms. So, this essentially, we're not going to read bit by bit, but this is just explaining the opening setting of Age of Sigmar 4.0. Neil, what do you know about the opening setting of Age of Sigmar 4.0?
Well, I know that it's happening in Akshi, and I also know that basically the Skaven have, I don't know, I guess you could call it gnawed their way, but they basically blew up half a continent, right? I mean, and now Skaven Blight, or what they're calling the Gnaw.
The Blight City. The Blight City, which
City.
is actually their home city from the old world.
Oh.
Do you remember that bit real quick?
I don't know anything about Skaven, even from the old world.
All right,
Skaven are garbage.
When the world was ending, and after they dropped the moon on the planet, and like the lizardmen did their thing to save the planet as best they could and leave. The not the Great Horned Rat, Screech Vermin King, the like head vermin lord, said, "Hey, shit's fucked. We need to leave." Yeah, I'm gonna come back to us real quick. Hold on. Shit's fucked. We need to leave. And the council that was left was like, "Okay, what do we do?" And they literally moved Blight City, which is the Skaven capital, which was all underground in like this giant hole, and they would do all their like holes that they dig everywhere across the entire world. Like I guess if you want to think about the continent of the old world, or the planet of the old world, there's 2 ways to travel across it near ease, or not instantaneously, but very quickly. Like I'm not talking about boats or zeppelins. There was the life route, which, because the tree of life, the life tree, I forget what it's called in this setting, had roots that spanned across the entire globe. And Alariel, Ariel, all like the really high up godly life beings could travel across those. That's why they're called world roots. And the tree of life actually is an Age of Sigmar. Like a splinter of it came over, planted in Gyrand, and it's regrown. The other way to do it was from Skaven Blight, because they literally dug tunnels all the way through the undercrust of the old world. It was like a weird mirror of it.
Yeah.
But when Screech Vermin King was like, "Hey, shit's fucked, we need to go," everyone said, "Okay." So they literally somehow they took all of Blight City, which is the main capital, and just took it to the realm of chaos intact. Yeah. And how did they do it? Skaven, warp energy. Who cares? So,
yeah, sure.
So
magic.
Right. And that's where they've been. They've been in the realm of chaos in Blight City, and that's how they have the gnaw holes, because they can't just gnaw over anywhere because it's all weird immaterium stuff. So they use the warp stone and a gnaw hole into the different realms. So the Vermin Doom is part of Blight City coming up in action, like physically. It comes up. It mentions in this article that they different every realm except for Highish supposedly it gets some sort of small presence of this appearing, but actually gets the most fucked. And as we can see here by the new map, and this is why I want to do it. This map is just gorgeous. Any updated map, I love maps in Warhammer.
Yeah. Maps need to be more of a thing.
Right. So Neil, I know you have it up too. So like, yeah, you mentioned the Gnaw. So tell me about the Gnaw.
Well, where are we at here?
Tell me what you see.
I can't get any closer to this picture, but
Yeah, it's not the best high res picture, unfortunately.
I can't see anything really outside of the fact that it's half the continent. So
I'd say a third.
see a third. Third's better. You're right.
Third, but like I like that there's nice little like warpstone lakes. There's a little Skaven symbol here. And if you actually
Is that land like snaking out and everything? I didn't even know what to take this as.
yeah, so I forgot to get it up here. So tell you what, let me do this live because actually it is worthwhile here. I'm just gonna close this real quick. Yeah, I want you to just search Actually Map. Just via Google search. You'll find one right away. We're opening it up here on our end too. Open image, new tab, boom, there we go. Ah, that was too small. Dang it. It's the hardest thing about this.
Yeah, I really wish I could like zoom this image better.
So hopefully this
It's hard to see.
There you go. Soulbound, yeah, the Soulbound art of Akshi. Once this page decides to load, slowly but surely, we'll get there. We'll get there. Hang on, everybody. Slowly but surely. But what's interesting is as it's coming up that I've noticed is there we go. If you look on the right side of the Great Parch, there's like this one little piece of land and a few other small pieces of land. And then if you look at the new map, the Blight City coming up is adding a lot of land to this. And these places are big. Like the Great Parch is a small part of Akshi, but it is incredibly massive. And the Gnaw just added a third to that. So a little back and forth here. Boom.
It's pretty big for a city.
It's pretty big for part of a city.
Yeah.
Now, obviously,
hard for me to wrap my mind around that. I gotta say. I mean, sometimes they ask too much from me, and this is a moment.
Right. So obviously, some of the, it's coming right along the mountain line there. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty cool. Because like, hardcore on, man, Marathi thought that was safe. I mean, it's still safe for now, but it's gonna be dicey here soon. But just seeing the change in the map like this, it's just so exciting. And that's why we wanted to talk about this article here. Especially, and then they did a nice little new map of the Mortal Realms itself. I really wish they would give us a copy of this that doesn't have the Sigmar/new AOS logo in the Warhammer community. Like, just give me these clean, please. It's just cool to see like an updated version of the art. And then this piece down here, I love this art piece of the 5 Chaos Gods because the Great Horned Rat is officially a recognized member of the full pantheon of Chaos Gods now. What?
Yeah. Does that mean he's coming into 40K?
That's a good question. Archeon never liked Skaven, but somehow he's figuring out how to get along with them because of this Vermin Doom thing. I'm real curious, and it'd be interesting if he would show up.
Well, Archeon doesn't have any powers bestowed on him by the Great Horned Rat, so
he always looked down upon them. He never cared about them, saw them as weaker. Even during like the end times, they came and offered. They saw the writing on the walls. They're like, "Hey, we'll come help you if you just we can be chaos with you, and he's like, yeah, whatever, go die over there, and they're like, okay,
Yeah.
but he never cared for them. So it's interesting. I'm curious to see the story. I'm not sure if it's going to be in the latest Dawnbringer book that's coming out here soon, or if it's going to be at the start of Age of Sigmar 4.0. But
Mhm.
how did that happen? Because he never cared about them. But
How
and
did that happen for what? Like, how do you mean? Like, how did that
how did he
happen?
change? Why did he change his mind? Is it the Vermin Doom, or did he change his mind and then
Well,
the
I
Vermin
mean,
Doom happened?
Archeon doesn't have any say in the matter. You
He
know,
kind
he's
of
no god.
no, but he kind of does because he is the ever chosen. He
The Ever
is
Chosen has nothing to do with who's a
no,
chaos god and not.
but the thing is, the ever chosen, all the gods want his power. They want him to side with them. He
Sure.
chooses none of them because he's like, you're all foolish, you're all terrible. I'm using your power to do my ends.
Yeah.
But they all want him to be like, hey, come to Slanesh, hey, come to Tzeentch, come to Khorne.
Yeah.
No. Because if he did, he'd become the greatest champion of that god forever. But he refuses
Sure.
because knows how to play that game. Skaven always
Yeah.
came up and he's just like, fuck you. Go away.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I said,
Yeah.
because the other four gods are wanting his attention, is why he has like the ability to be like, you know what, I recognize you as a full god, and him getting it. It's a weird thing, I get it. But
Yeah.
because he would recognize that as a full god, that means the other gods have to parlay towards him because they want him to be their champ. It's really weird.
Well, chaos, right?
Chaos has to be chaos. And actually, it's really funny because I think we talked about chaos is or I maybe this is on Warhammer Weekly. Chaos is the most ordered thing because it never changes.
Yeah. Well, it just changed.
It just changed. We finally got some
So,
chaos and chaos, everybody. Congratulations.
yeah.
But still,
Yeah.
that's a great article. It's a great little lore piece. Go check it out.
Mhm.
Yeah, but I'm excited for fourth edition for sure. Um, but more importantly, Neil, we are on the cusp of a new Arcane Journal coming out soon with dwarves. I would assume it'd be in the next couple weeks. We see pre-orders.
Mhm.
But that's besides the point, because who cares about dwarves? I'm kidding.
Absolutely.
We both like dwarves. But you and I have a favorite. You're watching online right now. You can see in the background. You know who Neil's
Mhm.
favorite army is. You know who my
Yeah.
favorite army is for Old World.
Mhm.
That's the Azure, the High Elves.
Mhm.
So Neil, I did a prediction show long ago about what I think is going to happen with our Arcane Journal as far as characters go.
Mhm.
I predicted we will see the Phoenix King come back as a new model with rules.
I would not vote that will happen, but okay.
My secondary hope was to see a Caradrian model or a Core model, but see Caradrian and Core specifically before they were in their prime.
I don't think you're getting either one of those.
Right. Those were my like long ball wishes. So tell me, what's your wishes for the High Elf Arcane Journals? What models new would you like to see sculpted? And
I think
obviously, as far as characters, we know it's going to be characters. That's what they're doing for everything else.
yeah. I think you're 100%. Well, I think they'd be wise. They won't. They'd be wise to make a new Eltharion model. They won't.
Yeah, they would be.
Because they have it in metal and they can produce it right now. You will be getting a made to order Eltharion. He will be coming back. Um, and I don't think you're going to get Teclis or Tyrion. We know
I think they're too
we know
powerful for this setting.
we know their
We
story. They're not
we have not seen a named character come back that's a mage in this that is more than power level 3.
yeah.
Do you
Well, if you did, that's where you're going to get it. It's the power level 4 Teclis. But
Well, yeah, he'd be the only one that. But like if you look at 8th edition, he was
the
power
problem
level
is
5 essentially.
if you look at some of these power level 3 characters that you're getting, these name characters, you're basically getting, and they're doing a good job of this, you're getting all the things that you would normally get in a power level 3 character plus extras for the same amount of points,
Yeah,
right? So, sometimes even less points than what you would if you had to upgrade them. So if you're paying for an arcane familiar, that's actually already in that guy's,
right.
I
But
don't know, what do
the
you
thing
call
I
it,
don't like
scroll or
about
whatever.
that is it prevents you from taking it again because it actually says you have this item, because we're talking about the Orc and Goblin one.
Oh yeah.
I wish they would have the ability to allow you to take certain magic items twice. That maybe are that would be a huge benefit for an army.
I can see why they did it. I don't.
Oh, I can too.
necessarily
I can too. I'm
have
not.
an argument either way, but I can see why they did it. Yeah. But yeah, I think you're going to get an Eltharion model, and I think you're going
Okay.
to get a newly named something or other. That it's going to be somebody on foot, because if we know anything about GW, if they're going to sell you something new, they're going to sell you a singular foot hero.
Yeah.
Okay, that they can make very quickly and produce very rapidly to get into your loving hands. Which is why I would much rather see like the Bretonian kind of Pegasus route they went with an Eltharion model, but I don't think we're going to get that. So
It's been months since I did my prediction show, and I did it based upon lore specifically. I don't disagree with you. I think Eltharion's the easiest one for them to add back in. 100%. The Griffin version, obviously, not the blind version.
Yeah, the blind version was retconned anyway, so
it's the best model. Oh, it's so the best model. I love it.
It's the best model. It's so good, and the story there too, incredible. So unfortunate that it's been retconned, but
yep. I think I know what foot hero they will resculpt. I don't know a name. It's gonna be a new named one, but I think I know what it's going to be. Do you want to take a guess what I'm thinking?
I'm trying to
think of a unit, a hero unit. Don't think of a named character, because like I said, it's going to be a fresh named character. Doesn't exist from what we've seen in lore. It exists in the lore, but it's going to be its own thing. I think it could either be on foot, or they might even put it on an eagle.
Well, the one I was thinking of is not going to.
Just pick.
I was picking a handmaiden, but
that's what I think.
But they can't go on eagles, can they?
But a named one could. If she's her own war scroll and she was on an eagle, she could. And so the eagle is an if, but the more I think about it, they're just going to grab another named character that exists and just do it. But we only have one handmaiden sculpt. It's the one done by Darren Latham. It's beautiful. I love it. I have one in my old High Elf army for 8th edition. I refuse to rebase it to damage it. I refuse to spend hundreds of dollars to buy another version of it. And I'm not going to buy a recast version of it. I don't care. I kit bashed it for my current 8th edition army, or my 8th edition, my old world army. That is probably one of the best places of space they could have to be like, make something fucking cool.
Yeah.
That's why I think eagle is a possibility. I don't know if they would. I could easily see it just being on foot. But if I was to put a handmaiden on any mount, it would only be an eagle, because they're so connected to like the wood elves that's what makes sense.
I don't think you'll get. I think it's going to be very easy for them to put back out the Island of Blood plastic kits for high elves. I think you're going to see that kind of stuff. So I think you're going to see that's going to be the Griffin, right? That'll make a return. I think you're not going to get any real Lord level characters new. I think it's got to be somebody on foot. And it can be anything like a lore master. It can be, although the last lore master sculpt they did was really good. I don't see any problem with it.
And the new one for Lumineth is even better.
Yeah.
People are bringing that over. Yeah, why not?
Which I have over there, which will be making an old world table near you very soon.
I thought about doing that soon too, just for fun. It's like a side project.
Absolutely. It's going to be a model like that. It could be like, because if you notice too, in the army lists, you can't, like, a lot of the heroes can't join certain units unless they have certain honors. Right.
Very specific for
so I think that the easily could make, they could go a Dragon Prince route or something like that, because it kind of depends. They like to make heroes based on like a theme. So you could get like a sea helm. You could get like a some kind of Dragon Prince model for like a Dragon Prince based army, which would be just amazing. Just this very impetuous, like Dragon Princes all over the place. That would be cool.
Right, but looking at themed armies, What's the only unit that could potentially be core if you take a certain general already?
That'd be the
It'd be
handmaiden.
the handmaidens.
Handmaiden.
Right.
Yeah.
Which it's hard to do because you got caught in it. I got caught in it for a while until I figured it out and I passed it to you, which was don't bring a prince or a. You could bring a noble. Noble has to be the BSB, and then you take an archmage and a handmaiden, and then since they're both the same, and technically the noble's the highest leadership, but BSBs can't be the general, except for lizardmen allow that for some reason. Which allows you to then pick based upon the next rank down. So you pick the handmaiden to make the Sisters of Avalor core. Speaking of which, we're the only two people that I know in the world doing that. If you're doing that, let me know. And if you're not, you are missing the fuck out. Like you you have a dragon? I don't give a shit. I have 20 30. I have 20 Sisters of Avalor. Neil has 30. Like Neil's me. My whole core is not sisters. His is all sisters. One whole giant ass unit.
So, and the great thing about it too is you put the handmaiden in there with him, right? And let's say like it's just a strength 3 bow, right? Crazy ballistic skill. They don't move, and they're 30-inch shots, so they're probably not going to move.
They're going to be like they're 2s to hit almost all the time.
You're hitting 2s. If it's a large target,
2s with
all 30 of them are shooting. All 30. Period. All of them can see it. See, they're shooting.
I run the stagger block of 2 lines. I usually run about 12 to 15 at most, and that's including my handmaiden and my BSB, who I also give the Bow of Avalorn to. So she's shooting the same thing. Like you're bolder than I am because I know you have to lose shots the way you're going to set up. I refuse to.
So it is kind of the. It's because I did not want any other core. I wanted that to be my one block of core. And so that took 30 Sisters of Avalorn, and there's 500 points right there.
Yep.
And then to boot, like I can make that whole unit. It's first strike if it gets charged. Okay, their first strike. But like I was saying about the shooting, it's not just they're a strength 3 shot. Let's say you have something that's toughness 4. Okay, now you're at 5s, or maybe you have something toughness 5. Now you're at 6s.
Well, you're fishing for the 6s anyway. Because you want the -3 red.
You are, but you want more wounds coming through, of course, right? So you pop the handmaiden's ability once per game.
+1 hit, +1 wound.
To hit, +1 to wound. So no matter what the strength difference is, you're still adding 1 to whatever that is. So if it's toughness 5, you're coming down to 5-ups instead of 6-ups. That's huge.
Now, Neil, you always
say that many shots. Too.
I always save that for the turn I know they're about to be charged, because that +1 hit, +1 to wound for that unit doesn't say shooting. It's combat as well.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And shooting, stand-in shooting. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's absolutely amazing.
Yep. So there's a lot you can do with that. And I may lose the shots, but if there's something that flies, right, or if it's a large target or something like that, I'm gonna be able to see it. Right.
Oh, you're gonna absolutely destroy my mainly Pegasus Bretonnian army. You're like, hey, all the stuff you love about Chuck, it's dead. You got peasants left? Great, have fun.
Well, is it a large target?
They're flying.
And you can see flying, right? I don't know about that.
I haven't played enough games with a lot of flyers lately, so I'm gonna have to trust myself here. Can you see flying targets?
Yeah. So I mean the ability for that unit to move. Like, right, movement in this game is precious, right? Yep. And the fact that I can keep moving back or moving around with reserve moves, with using a walk between worlds, with evasive. Anytime you try and shoot at me, I can step back or I can move wherever I want, basically. So it's a very, very versatile unit. I don't even know that I have the skill to use it, but I'm sure going to try and practice with it. So.
I don't see it right away, so I'm not looking too deep on it.
Yeah,
it's you're. I mean, chances are, if you're fly, you're going to be probably in a position where you can be seen anyway. So
we'll see. So
yeah, it's still. I can promise you, half the shots that you have is usually enough, Neil.
I will make sure that I get 20 flying out of there for sure. That's going to happen. You know, the back 10. Oh well, if I can put them onto a hill,
Oh, every time mine are on a hill. Yeah,
Yeah,
100%. And everyone's like,
yeah.
"Is
If
that a
I
hill?"
can
I'm
get
like,
30 on the hill, baby,
like
bring that shit to me, man.
if you
Like
have
it's
Sisters of Avalorn in units more than 10, when you're about to deploy and you know what side you're on, you look at your opponent and be like, "Is this a hill?" If they say yes, you go,
bloop.
"Okay, guess what?" And then you
Perfect.
deploy near that hill, so they have to come near it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's great. It's
Yeah,
great.
I can't wait to shoot some Grail Knights with those things at some point. So
I don't think I have Grail Knights on my list. I'm more Pegasus heavy, and I have the Knights of the Realm on foot because they're too gorgeous not to have.
sure.
Sure,
Why
yeah,
not?
it's fun. It'll be fun.
Yeah. So why don't I talk about my list a little bit that I'm gonna have?
Actually, yeah, let's do. I mean,
Um,
we'll talk about it more in like as we develop it through the Tale of Four Warlords. But let's
yeah.
talk about our list for the Tale of Four Warlords. A little bonus feature here.
Yeah.
Tell me what you're
Yeah.
planning for your High Elves, Neil.
So it's gonna be a very mobile list, a lot of skirmishers and chariots, pretty much is what it is.
Nice.
And I have every type of chariot the high elves have to offer, and two of each. So currently, I'll have two Tyrannoch chariots, I'll have two Lion chariots, and two Lothern Skycutters with the bow that has -3 AP. So
Little bolt thrower.
um, it's not the same hitting power as a bolt thrower. It
Right.
doesn't go
Right.
through and through. It's only strength 5, not strength 6, which matters. But hey, we're getting off some big
Yeah, but it's a
shots,
very mobile bolt thrower. That's makes up for the damage reduction or
and
the
you get too close, it's charging and it's doing some impact hits, right?
Does it have
It's not
counter
going to kill a
charge?
whole lot of. It does not have counter
Okay,
charge.
curious. Okay.
I'm almost positive, but so yeah, so that's pretty much what it is, and then some heroes really after that. So it's Sisters of Avalorn, Shadow Warriors. Um, yeah, that's it. That's all that's on the ground. Everything else is a chariot. So if you get close to my sisters, there's going to be some lions that want to come talk to you, right? So because we're gonna make things unbreakable. We're gonna use a little courage of an Aryan, right? So
Oh,
these little
Courageanarian.
screening.
Oh,
Yeah,
Courageanarian's
because keep
so
in
good.
mind that So Shadow Warriors are chariot runners, right?
Yep.
So 2 units of those, they'll be running my chariots. So they'll be blowing right through those lines, coming to get you if you get too close to my sisters. So
I remember because for the longest time I was playing just high magic. I'm like, I just high magic, not looking at anything else to get used to it. And I got used to it. I said, you know what? Let me look at the high elf specific magic. And I read Courage of Narian. I'm like, fuck you, Tempest, get out of here.
yeah,
Like Tempest, you're good. Don't get me wrong, you're good. But
yeah,
just
unbreakable.
unbreakable. I'm moving back 2 inches on any of my units. Sure, great, love it.
Yeah. Yep, it's amazing. The one of the reasons why I built the list the way I did too is because I also play Orcs and Goblins, and the fanatics that I play terrify me, completely terrify me. If they were to be used against me, I don't know what I would do. What I know that I would do is I would just shoot the shit out of those units until they were of no consequence.
Yes,
So
kill
they
them
would be
all.
forced to release the fanatics because I'm gonna literally just aim straight into those bad boys and just take out as many of them as possible. So do not want fanatics going through sisters, that's for sure.
Oh my goodness, that like yeah, sisters they're just dead. They have no save. It's out.
They're dead, and they're too many points to be that dead. So,
Fair. It's entirely
that
fair.
fanatic getting its points back in 2 models plus them. Yeah,
That's
so
good. That's good. That sounds like a fun list. And like I said, what I love it too is I think you and I are both accidentally doing the same thing. It's like we're both like for my Bretonians for this Tale of Four Warlords. I'm like, I have a theme. Neil, you have a theme. We might have leaned into the theme so hard that we picked the good units accidentally. Apparently, I keep hearing that Peg Knights are fantastic.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, cool. That's why it's not why I have 9 of them, but I'm glad I have 9 of them.
It may in fact work out for you.
Yeah,
to your
sisters are
benefit.
fantastic, and you made a
Right.
great theme, and you can't be mad
Yeah.
about the lore of it because it's great. That's also that's the thing I love about old world / fantasy. It seems to be easier to do compared to even Age of Sigmar. Definitely easier than 40k to make a narrative army using the good units. Like Sigmar, most units are pretty well okay. You can make a narrative army and bring in a lot of cool stuff. But like I look at Daughters of Cain. Doomfires are a good unit. They're just terrible in Daughters of Cain because we don't need them. So they're kind of forced in different ways. But I love them.
Hmm.
So like I'll try and get them in, and I'm always like, they're okay, they're doing okay, it's fine. But like I'll get
Yeah.
Old World. I love this unit. I'll write a lore around it, and it makes sense. And everyone's like, that's cool, that's great. It's overpowered, but it's
Yeah.
awesome. Great. I love the lore. The fluff is great.
Well, I have no idea whether this list isn't just hot trash. It's probably hot trash. Anything that I come up with myself is usually hot trash. So, we'll see. But I
Well,
don't care.
yeah,
That's the great thing about it because it's
yeah,
going to look cool and it's going to have chariots. And we discussed how much I like chariots.
exactly.
So,
Well, here's the thing. You're gonna have a great basis of an army, and if you're just like, you know what? Okay, I need some sword masters. Get yourself some
mhm,
sword masters. You get them in there. You get yourself some Phoenix Guard, whatever you want, and you'll be fine.
yeah.
You have more than enough of the cool stuff that you can tweak it later as you go. Which is like that's
Mhm,
to be fair, that's what I think people need to do with Old World too. Like, yeah, it's easy to just bring your old collection over and be like, yeah, here it is. Like, no, that's too easy.
mhm.
Make something fresh and new. Get a
Yeah.
cool theme going. Get some lore
Mhm.
going. You'll have a better time with it. I'm not saying the other way is bad, because like I have old armies that I'm not rebasing that I'll play in Old World and I'll just pick out the good stuff and have good army. But like
Sure.
I'm glad I have the High Elves built the way I have, which is lore
Mhm.
focused. I'm glad my Bretonians are going to be lore focused too.
Right.
I'm having a
Well,
better time with this game because of that alone.
yeah. There are so many cool models out for different ranges and stuff like that too. If you want to do something new, do something like 3D prints, do something like some of the base models that other people have out, other companies have out, whatever.
Or if you're like me and
There's,
just like the old shit, like I
or
love
if
the
you
old
just like
shit.
the old
That's fine. Yeah.
and get the new stuff that's coming with it too. Like
Yeah.
I plan on get when the high elf stuff comes out, I plan on getting whatever new stuff comes out for them. But
Yep.
the they're going to be a little bit off
Yeah.
because
Whatever.
I
Who
put
cares?
everything at 110%. But it might just be short. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But that's my favorite part of it is like these armies now feel like they're mine because they're different.
Yeah.
They're different from what I used to have. They're different from what anybody else is going to have, more than likely. So, yeah. Like using stuff like Hero Forge and stuff to kind of make your own heroes and all that. Like I love that too.
It's
So,
it's almost like we're like nostalgia is always a tricky thing because it's hard to ever recapture it. You never walk through the same river twice.
right.
But this is a similar river, and it's the first time I'm walking through it, and it feels pretty
Mhm.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Because
I was actually mowing the lawn the other day and like
yeah, lawn
I'm
talk.
thinking
Let's
about,
go.
well, yeah, no. And I'm thinking about this stuff randomly and I'm thinking about like what could they do? Like right now, they're doing new models and stuff, right? And I'm getting some made to order stuff. And the like, right? But like, what army could they completely, completely do from the ground up? They don't have any sculpts; they're just going to do from the ground up. Which one would they be most likely to do? And that's Kislev, right?
Kislev or
Um,
Nippon, based upon the
yeah,
Total War. Yeah,
yeah,
either
you
one of
got to do
those.
complete Kislev. I mean, because it fits the old world. It's right there.
Yeah.
Nippon is so far away. Cathay is so far away. And then you're talking about monstrous cavalry with bear riders and stuff like that. I mean, the
Can
old stuff's great.
can
Don't
you
get me wrong, but
imagine?
man, I'd be just like,
Can you
oh, if
imagine?
they'd sell the shit out of it.
Like, if they release that and it's a whole brand new army for Old World, yes, I'm buying all of it.
Yeah, there's no 3D prints for Kislev, right? Like
Well, there
you
is,
have to.
but you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I don't know of any, so maybe there is, but I don't care. Like you would go and get that stuff. You'd go get Boris on the bear for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I love it. I hope they do that someday too. I'm excited. I'm enjoying it too. It's also nice having it being at that slow pace that we're getting for Old World.
I
Um,
wish it was a little faster.
a little bit, yes. But I get it.
I wish
Like,
the wars were out and we were on to the next thing so far. Like I
yeah,
hopefully as of the release time this year for Old World, by next year, this is what I was kind of thinking about. I'm hoping that next year they're starting to say, hey, here's the new stuff, 100% new stuff, right?
you know what I hope
Old
actually.
World's been doing amazing. We're doing a whole full army, completely new. Here's Kislev, you know,
You know what
go make
what
thousands and millions,
what I want more than that. I want them to realize their mistake. We get through all the core factions, and then they go, "Oh, hey, all this legacy stuff that we said was legacy.
Mhm.
Well, we stop fighting with ourselves as a company because it's fucking stupid."
So dumb.
And they're just like, "Here's dark elves.
Yeah.
Here's demons.
It's
Here's
so
Skaven.
dumb what they do.
Here, we're doing it. We're just doing it. Like, they're just full factions now. They'll become full factions as we release them as arcane journals. That will be more robust arcane journals.
Yeah.
Like, what? The fact that they still haven't done that yet is asinine. And I don't know how to say it otherwise. Like,
Yeah.
like, do you want, like, you can make so much more money. Shareholders out there, if you're a shareholder of Games Workshop, you can make so much more money if you make the Age of Sigmar side of things and the old world side of things stop fighting and make them kiss. All right, well, that's all we need to do.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I don't know what to say other than that. It's going to get more frustrating as time goes on. But for now, set that aside, put that in the cupboard, lock it up, bury it deep, push it real deep inside your chest, where it's safe and secure.
Yeah.
Because we still have lots of armies coming out. Obviously, dwarves are next. And if we look at the book here, so we have Bretonnians, Tomb Kings. We have dwarves, Norse, and goblins. So the other two pairings that we can get. Now, I say pairings as in they're not releasing them as pairs, but they are releasing them within a quick succession, like one after the other. High Elves and Chaos Warriors, or Wood Elves and Beastmen.
They wouldn't do Wood Elves and Beastmen together.
That if you the reason I'm
That
saying
was sarcasm.
okay, I'll say like first of all lore. Secondly, I'm looking at the book and it shows it that way. So
Yeah, no. 100% we're doing that.
But we still have lots of year left. I have a feeling by the end of this year we'll have all of them released. As much as I hate to say it, I kind of hope they do the Wood Elves and the Beastmen next. I want the High Elves last.
I don't think you're going to get your wish, but
I know, but I'm
High Elves were probably one of the most popular armies from before, so
right. But the reason I'm saying that is because that allows me to save up more money to do all the made-to-order stuff that I want to buy for this army.
that's fair. Yeah,
because I'm not rebasing anything else for my 8th edition army. What I did pull over is pulled over. Everything else now is a new army entirely. So, so also I'd like to finish the Bretonnian Tale of Four Warlords army before I get that.
yeah. I'm gonna have to speed up that paint schedule a little bit. See what we can do.
We'll see what we can do. I actually, to be fair, I'm enjoying the slow pace. I painted one model. I have to paint like 20 models next month. I'm like, oh my god, this is so easy. I love this.
Yeah, I gotta go 30. It's crazy.
I think I actually here. Let's talk about that because this is just a ramble episode. We're talking about our love of this stuff. So actually, my list. I didn't talk about my list. So I'm gonna have a Duke on Royal Pegasus, a Paladin BSB on Royal Pegasus, a Prophetess on foot, some Peasant Bowmen, some Men at Arms, some Mountain Knights of the Realm, which I might change them to be something else. We'll see. Like some Questing Knights. I have some Knights of the Realm on foot, and then 2 units of 6 Peg Knights. It's a nice little simple list. It's fun. Like I said, I might switch up the Mountain Knights to be Peg Knight or Questing Knights. But I'm trying to decide if I'm going to do Men at Arms or Peasant Bowmen next for next month's Tale of Four Warlords, which is a core unit. I'm actually leaning towards the Peasant Bowmen. To me, they're more iconic.
Mm-hmm.
Do you agree with that?
I would agree with that. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you'd see them more because they're just kind of standing behind the lines, shooting poorly.
Oh yeah, they're terrible. Absolutely atrocious. They're there to die. But yeah, it's fun. I look forward to it. And actually, yeah, I'll look at it later. I was like, what's after that? What's the month after that? I think it's special or rare.
Special or rare? Yeah, it's special or rare.
Yeah, it's the next month after that's rare or special. So it's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to this. But yeah, more importantly, give us our high elves. Take your time with them. Make them great. Give us Finnabar. Give us Altharion. Give us New Handmaiden. That's all we want in life. Give me everything high elves. All right.
Absolutely.
and then go, hey, we're releasing Dark Elves, and I'm like, fuck, I need more Dark Elf stuff.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I may start on a Dark Elf army after this one, just because. That's just me.
Actually, if I get a
For
game in,
legacy.
if I get a game in this week tomorrow, I'm gonna run a Witch Elf horde list.
Oh, nice.
I don't know if it's gonna be good. I had a great time with it in 8th edition. I don't know if it
Yeah.
works as well in this edition.
Well,
But that's who I am. So I like Witch Elves,
yes,
and I'm going to run them forward.
exactly. Go with who you are.
Yeah. Always charging the army. There we go. Okay. Like I said, rambly episode, everybody, as we finish up here. Neil, quick thoughts. I wanted to touch on this briefly. We're nearing on episode 100.
Mm-hmm.
Are you excited for that? Are you amazed that we're at episode 100?
It doesn't make sense to me, actually.
I know.
It certainly doesn't feel like we've done 100 of these. It's crazy. So
We've done
I don't
100
know.
of these, and we've had false starts.
How many? Yeah, how many?
We've done over 100 episodes for sure of like a podcast.
How many weeks are left till 100?
This is 97, so
Oof, 3 weeks.
3 weeks. And I'd like to say I have something planned for it, but I'm still figuring that out. It
Man.
might. I here's what I'm thinking. I might just get the whole Strength Hammer crew on. Cole, Matt, Neil, Dave, you.
You know, I might have to drive up your way for the episode. We get both of us on the in the same room.
I wonder if I could convince everybody to come up and we record at the barn.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Just it might. Here's the problem. Here's the worry for that. That turns into a drunk episode that I can't release.
There's a good chance that's gonna. I mean, it's got to be a celebration, right? So
There's already like 2 of those episodes that are deleted. Like they don't exist. But like one was me. I think one was you. Where we're just way too drunk. It's like nope, never mind.
Yeah.
No podcast this week. Sorry everybody.
Too funny. Well, I feel like it's worth risking it.
Yeah, you're probably right. I will say this: after we reach 100, we're probably gonna take like a week or 2 off just to relax.
Yeah,
because that's a good milestone. Take a small break. But yeah, I mean, here's the thing too. Earlier today, you and I were talking, like looking at numbers. Like, yeah, maybe we aren't growing as fast as we should based on what we're doing, but I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But if you're
fine.
listening to this episode now, at this point, you haven't liked and subscribed, do it or I'll cut you. I won't. I promise you, I won't. No. For those who do watch, we appreciate it. It's great. We're not here because we care about turning this into how we make money. We do this because we like talking to each other about Warhammer, and Warhammer's fucking cool. We're trying different stuff. Like Neil came to me today. The way we've been doing book reviews, he's not a fan of. I'm like, that's fine. I'm not really like keen on it either. I just don't know what else to do. So we're gonna brainstorm before we do Kingdoms of Bertonia at some point.
Look at that.
Find out how we want to do those reviews. But let us know below. If you like us reading rules, let us know. If you have other ideas, let us know. Like we are curious what your thoughts are. But yeah, we're just happy that there's a decent amount of
let us know what you want going into our next 100 podcasts as we work towards 200.
Yeah, exactly.
Let us know what you guys want. We're still probably going to do our thing and talk Warhammer, but if there's something that makes sense to us, we'll talk about that too.
Yeah, if you're just like read the rules page by page, no, we're not doing it.
Not going to do that.
That's never going to fucking happen. There's a little tidbit for those who are new to the channel here. If you watch our friends Matt Cole, who do the Big M's Power Hour once a month, which is a little bit more standard podcast where they read rules, do news, a lot more in depth, stuff like that. I was doing that with Matt for a little while, and I told him like he needed to get somebody else, and he got Cole perfect, which was perfect because I can't stand that.
I'm not a news guy.
I'm not. Yeah. I can read news and I can understand it and I can go about my life. Sometimes if the news is exciting, it's fun to do little episodes like I do for it, and we'll talk about it on here. But I can't do it for everything. it just doesn't entice me, and I would be disingenuous to you all. Which is why we talk about the lawns and random shit here. But yeah, if you have something you'd like us to try, let us know. If you have or even if you're just like, hey, you know what? These guys over here are doing it pretty cool. Why don't you see if you can lift some of their ideas? Like, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Also, because it gives me cool new content to watch.
We've been tossing around, possibly doing some battle reports and things like that, some way somehow.
Yeah, the problem is 3.5 hours difference in drive is the hard
Right.
part.
Or even just battle reports that we participate in, doing it more like almost like a White Dwarf, putting that up on the
Yeah,
screen and talking through the turns and stuff like that. So that's a possibility. If anybody be interested in that, let us know.
you know what?
Um,
If I have a game this weekend, like I might, I will take pictures and I will try to do that next time.
all right,
So, but why not? We'll give it a go. But
let's
yeah,
do it.
let us know below what you guys like, and we will do our best to be of service. For now, Neil, any closing thoughts about how fucking cool high elves are in the old world, despite the fact that dark elves become cooler eventually in my heart and mind?
They never made it there for me. I still love them, but it's the Cold One Riders for me. But outside of that,
You need
no,
to.
I can't wait to get this army together and actually be able to play a game with it. So, um, yeah, just waiting, just waiting.
Perfect. Like I said, Tale of Four Warlords. I can't wait till the end when we have our armies and we're playing games together for like that weekend to we'll figure that out.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I can't wait to get this fucking Napoleonics army done. That's my goal. Get that done and enjoy Warhammer once again. But
get it out of here, so I don't have to hear about it anymore.
all right, we will see you next week, everybody. Till then, happy hobbying, stay Stormcast strong, and remember Warhammer's fucking cool.